so you can hop
Yep.
on in.
Man, I thought that was awesome.
That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was funny that. What's up, Justin?
Hey guys, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, great
absolutely,
view, man.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Oh,
I'm-
show up.
I'm totally gonna retire here. I might not even retire. I might just not come back to the United States.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, and then ever growing digital world. I mean, that's definitely very highly possibility. I mean, I'm sure you could run the entire video production company from anywhere that you'd want, right?
Yeah, no, we're working on content. You know, obviously not right this second because it's 4 o'clock right there. But you know, we're still working on some content. You know, while I've been here.
Right.
So
Well, awesome, man. Well, thanks for jumping on. I'm, you know, I would say I've known Justin now probably for, I mean, since what, 4 or 5 years now.
yeah,
So,
I think we started working 2013-ish.
yeah, somewhere
2000
in there.
yeah.
Working Google agency with Google Street View. So definitely seeing what you've done with videos. You know, just starting from there, where we were just playing with photos and like figuring out what things are happening, and then. I mean, now you're working with some national brands. So just a little bit about Justin. He's the co-owner and founder of Captive Creative with his cousin Sam. They basically build a variety of digital content for small businesses, Fortune 500 companies. It was founded back in 2013. Dude, you've worked with Jim Bean, Uber Eats Technologies, Academy Sports and Outdoors. You know, that's the right stuff, you know, for the right price. All right. I always love the little ads. So just tell us a little bit about you. And so you're in Croatia right now, and actually you've had a really exciting time out there, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been awesome. So yeah, again, I'm Justin, Captive Creative. I'm here in Croatia, and it's so beautiful. A little bit about what's the excitement that you're talking about is I got engaged last night. Yeah, I'm super excited. I told her, my fiance was just sitting over there. I told her she had to leave. My time was to come on, and she would make me more nervous than every other viewer that's out there.
Oh, right.
So,
Understand how that goes.
but yeah, no, that's the exciting news for me. So.
That's really cool. So you know, I've definitely been impressed with your video work. So you know, one of the things I was telling Scott and Christy here is that, and we were talking about this in the beginning, was, you know, I see these areas where you talk about the shoots that you're doing. You know, you do like some Facebook Lives of like some behind the scenes stuff. You kind of start building the narrative, and then you're able to basically follow it up with some badass video content. I mean, you're creating some really great content with some really great brands. So with that, video has definitely been a hot topic today. You know, we know that a lot of people want to get into video, or they want to understand more about video. And we know that the search engines, social media, they all want more video. You know, it's majority of content consumed. Honestly, I like watching the video way before I read something. In fact, I will scroll through a blog trying to figure out if they have a video that it was all transcribed from before I even start trying to read, okay? So, you know, with that, there has to be a process there, right? Like there has to be steps everybody has to go through in order to, you know, deliver, you know, some good content, or even put it together in the first place, especially when it comes down to video. You got multiple people. You got potentially actors, potentially scripts. Maybe you're just doing it off the cuffs. Like, tell us about that process, man. Like, tell us kind of about what y'all do.
Yeah, so, you know, we have a couple of things that we like to start out with, and there's 4 key steps that I want to talk about today. And the first one is research and development. The second one is planning. You can do a lot or you can do a little. And then it's execution, you know, actually making it happen, the video start. And then once you've done them all, you got to continue the process. I need to, like, once you make one video, once the consumers have seen it, they're not going to watch it again. You know, they might watch it again because it's got good, valuable information, but twice, you know, 3 times, it's not going to probably happen. So once you've got it, like, we want to keep going and create a strategy for you to be able to keep moving forward with that content. So, but
So that's really cool. You know, it's I'm just going. I want to take notes here, but you know, it's really important that you know brands keep that content going. That you know keep it consistent. I mean, if you can't keep it consistent, then again, it's like, well, what was that? You know, we want brand recognition, right? We want people to understand the name, the slogan. We want to get that product out there and let people know, like, it's us. You know, that's the quality, that's the service that we provide, right?
Exactly. So I guess, well, let's just dive deep. And then, okay, so the first step, like I really want to talk about, is research and development. The easiest thing to start out with is looking at your competitors, finding out what they're doing on their social media, their YouTube pages. So what kind of marketing are they doing? What platforms are they using? How are they using their video content overall in their marketing strategy? What kind of content is working for them? Once you kind of see and figure out what they're doing and what's working, you know, kind of take some of those pieces and put them towards your own business, because it's obviously stimulating their consumers, their clients. And then once we go from there, you'll have kind of a better idea and understanding of what you're trying to do for your own production itself. The second step I like to look at is your own business. There is, you know, who's your audience for your business? You know, what's the age range or the demographics of the people? What platforms are they using to consume their videos? Is it primarily Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it TV? You know, some of those things like TV are, you know, cost more money, and you know, but Facebook and Instagram, those are some free services, and it's readily available to everybody. So whatever is the best route for you is the direction that you should be going towards. Defining your audience will help create a more effective video concept possible. Like basically, you know, figure out what's possible. Sorry, defining your audience will help you create the best content possible. So then we talk about the industry. You know, there's different types. So so if you're in a fun industry, you obviously want to come up with some, you know, funny, interesting, you know, like lively stuff. But then if you're a professional industry where the people are a little bit more serious and they want to be more educated, then you want to stay away from those kinds of things and be a little bit more serious than funny, and kind of educate them. And that information might work better for them, you know? So in this, just kind of playing around and figuring out what works best for your people. And the third goal is, one question, what are your overall goals for your business? Like, are you trying to educate? Are you trying to you know, just be fun, you know, teach people about different ways, how your business does stuff? Are you just going to be doing promotional videos with fun music and good, like, cinematic video? There's just a couple different directions you can go. So what is the direction that you want to go with your business videos? And then the next step would be just to start planning, because once you're out on set, you know, so many ideas can pop up once you start videoing, but those ideas could have already come up beforehand when you're doing some pre-production and strategizing about what kind of content you want. So plan. Once you've done your research, it's time to get creative. And then this is the critical step that can be extremely helpful to creating your content. And if you don't think that you're really good at creating fun information or content, you should just come talk to me, and I'll help make that happen for you.
Right.
So at least I can consult with you to figure out some of those pieces. So yeah, got a couple notes right here. So depending on the level of production you're going for, there could be all types of pre-production. There are a few parts of pre-production. So we got brainstorming, the idea, and logistics, and then just getting started. So brainstorming is we get our team together and discuss all the different types of possibilities and routes that we can do for your video content. Once we've brainstormed, we've got our idea, and then our general ideas, we can start creating and being, we basically can start creating some storyboards and, you know, get more specific about the different types of videos.
Mhm.
And the kinds of things that we want to go with the ideas are, how long should your video be? Does it need a script? Do we need actors? Do we need models? Do we need extra crew? And does your budget allow for that? You know, so if those things aren't in the budget, you know, we have to take some of those things into consideration. Call some of your friends, ask them to come out. But whenever you add like actors and models and stuff like that, they typically have you know, more confidence about what they're doing. And then once we go from there, honestly, the list can go on. So then we go into logistics. So after we've got a solid idea and we start running with this idea, includes, you know, actually writing the script, creating a storyboard, and then booking the locations and the talent, it's, you know, your friends or models. And then from there, we start pulling all the crew and equipment together. You know, that can be, you know, it can be a large production or a small production. And then that can honestly go on for hours. That you know, that can be a whole different topic in itself. Just logistically, like, how do you want to create your video and where you want it to go?
Right.
And then once you've got the logistics, we just like to dive deep and get started. If the goal is just to get started, and this is the, you know, like the idea, you have an iPhone and you're ready to go, or just a regular phone. We're filming from Croatia right now on an iPhone, you know. So I've got a Mark IV with a bunch of lenses here, and we could have done the whole live streaming, but it made it more complicated. And sometimes it's just simple and fast and efficient is really, you know, easy, just like we're doing live Facebook right now. So there's tons of apps out there to help create really high-end content. You know, all you just have to do is go on the App Store and type in video editing, and tons of them will pop up. It'll help you with graphics for your text, transitions to like kind of help like give your video production to take it to the next level, basically. And then one of the other suggestions that I would say, you know, if you're going to use an iPhone, getting yourself a nice microphone, having really good audio will really help bring it to the next level. It goes a really long ways. Right now I'm using, you know, my Apple headphones, but if we were to have a Rode mic, we'll have more volume and more, you know, you can actually hear the bass in my voice. You might even be able to hear some of the birds chirping in the background, some of the clinking of, you know, some of my espresso over here.
Hey, dude, quit making us jealous. All right?
Yeah. Well, I'll bring y'all back some coffee and some coffee grinds, and y'all can taste some of the good stuff. It hits you like a train, though, because I'm like, no.
Yeah, right.
That's why his glasses are on.
Yeah.
Bugged out by this point.
Yeah, I mean, you can even see how small the glasses are here, and they're just so much stronger than in America. You know, in America, I drink my coffees like the biggest one we can get, and I'm like, I'm starting to feel it. But this little guy gets so much. So,
you know, with the right camera and the right lens, you know, like panning around, that you can make that tiny little cup look pretty large. You know what I mean? Like it
yeah.
pretty large espresso. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we can bring it really close and it looks really big now. So.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, so you know, you mentioned a point earlier. You know, you were talking about production, right? Like, you know, trying to figure out what your audience you know, who your audience is and like where they are. You know, maybe it is social media, maybe it is TV. You know, and I think right there, being able to decide that very early on in your production will really helps you understand, like, am I going to shoot this on an iPhone, or do I need to go get like, you know, some type of you know, a red camera to shoot, you know, something that's just TV quality that every news station or anybody would accept because it is that type of quality, which that definitely
Absolutely.
the budget, you know. Like if I was shooting on an iPhone, I'd probably be more keen to wanting to get my friends to come out and help me. If I'm shooting for something for TV, we're getting models, people are going to look good, they're going to fit the exact criteria of what I need, like they're going to have the accent, whatever the case may be, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I think that's so important, deciding that early on. Now, are y'all involved in any kind of like the actual casting process of finding models and stuff? Like, do
Oh yeah, absolutely.
put that in your hands?
So Yeah, it depends on, again, on the budget, you know,
Right.
because it can take tons and tons of pre-production hours to be able to start finding all the actors, you know, interviewing them, you know, seeing if they're going to be the right fit, if they have the right look, if they have the right, you know, persona for the video itself. And just kind of going to look for the locations and getting getting approval for some things. If we're going to shut down a street because we want to have this person walk across the road with their laptop or their cell phone in their hand,
Right.
you know, we have to be in control of those environments. But, you know, if we're going to run and gun with an iPhone, you can go less, you know, people aren't going to stop you and say, hey, what are you doing? But if we're running around with a $20,000 rig with 20 crew members and having big diffusers and audio boom mics and stuff like that, we're kind of shutting down roads and stuff. So, you know, we will go around those routes and help pull those pieces together. But, you know, we'll also consult and tell you how you can, your team or your business can do it themselves to save yourself lots of money. So,
No,
yeah.
Absolutely, man. You know, I just, you know, we've gotten in so much video, and we've been really pushing a lot of our clients into doing more video because, you know, again, we've seen it just being such a powerful tool. But that's not to say that it doesn't come with its own challenges. And I think that's why a lot of folks, they have that hard time of moving in, because I will tell you this, right? When I'm thinking of when I'm talking to a client, we're talking about a new promotion and everything, like I automatically go into like this Hollywood scenery, you know, potential explosions, like the car jumps, right? Because I got to see the full vision first. And then look at my client's budget, and then we dwindle it down to.
Yeah, you narrow and funnel it down. Because like, we got to take this out, we got to take this out, we got to take this out, and now we can't use a $10,000 camera.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. You know, maybe in the end we get really cinematic with some Hot Wheels, like jumping over something. You know, maybe,
Exactly.
You know,
Instead of asking for Julia Roberts, you end up with Jude Robert.
I'm taking some notes, guys. I'm gonna Hot Wheels and green screens. Okay, got it. I'm gonna make it happen.
Exactly. So, you know, I've seen that there's been a lot of folks who that's killed them when it comes down to their video, because the expectation is maybe too high of what they're trying to do, right? Maybe they didn't consult with the professionals. Maybe they just thought, hey, I've seen people move cameras around. I'm sure I could get those same shots, but it's not the same thing, you know. Again, like the environments are kind of controlled. So, you know, with that, let's just say so I got your tips for, you know, the initial, the research and development, planning everything out, really getting that in. But let's just say you're a small business owner. I want to work with a production company, okay? But I know, like, I need to save myself a lot of time and money, right? I follow those steps. I do the research and development. I figure out exactly what are some of the most important things that I could bring to you that would basically, one, it would save me money on my end because I'm a small business owner and I have a small budget, but it would allow you to be able to get a full scope and say, okay, cool. Like this is something like now we can really start, you know, driving into. Like if they followed that plan, I mean, is that something that you could basically take and say, great, like we can cut down meeting times and we can basically just get started?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you know, really just thinking about your business and answering some of those questions that I've asked y'all to do, or doing the research on your competitors. You're going to answer a lot of questions. Which will cut back on a lot of pre-production time on ourselves because we don't have to do the research and development. So really taking, fingers to iPads or computers and start typing out all the information about your business and putting a real game plan of what your vision is. Even if it's like out like too crazy or too big, you know, like just putting those things out there and just saying, hey, this is where we want to be. This is where we kind of see ourselves. And really kind of answering a lot of questions, asking yourself questions and then being able to answer them via on paper, and then, going through and figuring out what kind of people you want to have in your videos. Those are all questions that we're going to have to ask you, what's the age, the demographics, just like those things we were talking about a few minutes ago. So yeah, by kind of writing down your business and putting it on paper where we can just read it and really understand everything is probably one of the best routes for you to be able to go, to be able to make sure that, if you were to hire a video production company like ours and handing over that information, like about your process and flow. Like, you know, we do a lot of training videos for a lot of restaurants. So front of house, back of house, you know, how do you run that? We're going to have to go in there and have questions after questions after questions. But if you have it written down from A to B to all the way to Z, like we like to bust the table left to right in a zigzag motion, you know,
Right.
that gives us a visual in our own mind of what we need to be able to create for you. Even if it's the next step would be like, once you have those pieces, you know, we do a lot of stick figures, you know, like creating a small storyboard. Yeah, you don't have to be the best person, but giving a little bit of vision for yourself, or for us to see is the next biggest thing. My team members are really good at drawing, but you know, myself, if I have to take my time on drawing my pieces, so I really just kind of chicken scratch all over the place, and they're like, oh, okay, I totally get you now, you know, and that will get them on the same page, and it'll get us on the same page. Because you can explain those images or those chicken scratch, you know, drawings that we've got, and give us more of a vision.
No, that's really cool. That's really cool. So, oh, go ahead. Did you have something else you were gonna add?
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, that we're basically just talking about the execution, which my next part is.
Yeah.
You can there can be so many different kinds of setups. You know, you can have a 20-person crew, or you can have an iPhone on a tripod, and keeping it super simple. But whatever your budget is what you need to be prepared for. So you can kind of continuously executing your plan and continue doing them. Because if you spend, you know, $100,000 on a video or $20,000 on a video, and you can't do anything for another 2 years, what was the point of doing that? Because you know, you need to be able to educate those people more and more, you know, so keeping that in mind, keeping your budget in mind, like how fast do you want to be able to produce this content? How often you want to do it? And if you have to spend $20,000 every 2 weeks, it's not feasible. I mean, starting out strong is really good to have something that's really strong. So whenever anybody new comes to your business and having a really high-end video, that's great. But then, you know, like they're also going to want to keep doing research about you and figuring out how your business really runs. So having some other small content, you know, from the iPhone to doing live videos and being able to talk to your consumers or your clients and educating them, answering questions for them to be able to go back. Those are some really important things for our new generation, because like I said earlier, once people see it one time, they might watch it a second time, unless if it's got some really good information. Hopefully people will watch this video like 100 times. So
yeah, right. So, a lot of really good information. No, I think that's awesome. I mean, you are right. You know, if you're starting something new, maybe you're trying to get that big boost in your business, so you are taking on video, right? So you go ahead and you drop some good money for something really high quality content. It's like the first video they see you as soon as they land on your website. It's the biggest introduction to your business. But then being able to take like what you're talking about with the iPhone, and then scale that back, and then have consistent video content that continues to continue the narrative, that, you know, educates them on, you know, the new updates or whatever it is, you know, that business is doing on a regular basis. And then, you know, seeing the success from those, then you can always go and drop your $20,000 again, you know, 6 months down the road, or, you know, maybe it was a year down the road, and, you know, you have a big update and you do another big video push. But then you can continue that strategy. Now, do you work with businesses setting up that strategy, as far as like, hey, you know what, we're going to do this one video that's going to cover this concept, but after that, I think you could probably have, you know, 10 topics where you could do these videos yourself and continue the story.
Exactly. So, you know, like we were saying, you know, I mean, video was different 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and even 1 year ago. Like you need to have that consistency. So like, even for the Fortune 500 companies that we work with, we ask them to do these high-end stuff, and you know, you need to have your local marketing, even for the smaller guy, or for the bigger guys, you know, having those Facebook Lives or the Instagram videos. I think I answered your question, but I might not have.
No, you're killer, man. So what do you got in store this year, man? Like, do you have any projects that are coming up that you're super excited about? Maybe some new brands that you're going to be working with that you're really pumped for?
Yeah. So we've just released a series of, I think, 20 different videos for Academy Sports and Outdoors, and it's all about teaching people on different, not necessarily the products that they have, but how to use some of this stuff. And like, it can be anything from how to clean your kayak, how to pick out your kayak, how to barbecue the perfect brisket, or you know, we have another series of videos that we were working with Avita, which is a company in Hong Kong, and they have a new laptop, and they wanted to have some live action. You know, there's no talking, there's just people utilizing the product. And then they wanted some 3D animation videos to showcase with text, and again, no audio. We just want to showcase via like cool spins and how light it is, and stuff like that. We've got some really fun stuff with Uber Eats, you know, just continuous content. You know, they schedule us on a regular basis for, you know, new restaurants that are signing up, and we go and capture all the aspects of their food and their restaurant and stuff. So those are cool things that we're consistently working on. Yeah.
No, that is really cool, man. Do we have any questions or anything like that? Or Scott, do you have questions for Justin here?
I just really enjoyed what you're sharing about the planning side of things. You know, it's the more you plan, the better off you are going to have a much more
Absolutely
specific, you know, video for what you do. I mean, and I like what you said originally. I think a lot of people give up on the brainstorming side of things. Let's just brainstorm it first, figure it all out, and then work it out from there. There's no bad ideas to begin with, right? Because oftentimes the best ideas come from oddball, crazy shit, like doing a 27-hour freaking live stream.
Yes.
On media day, right?
I thought you were crazy at first. I was like, how are they going to do that? It's like ridiculous. How are you going to fit? How are you going to line up all the people?
Yeah,
Logistically, guys, hey, that's awesome for you. I'm so excited. I'm
not a very bright guy, but hey, we had people on this morning from Zimbabwe,
wow,
New Zealand, Thailand, and this little cat from Croatia. You know, joining this, you know?
Yeah.
right?
Car has the best view.
Yeah, we've got the best view. Most of it's been like windows behind that we can't see out of.
Yeah.
So you got the, yeah, definitely.
Let me just share a little bit with you real fast. I'm going to turn my camera around. Let me see if I can turn it. There we go. Just so you can see this. Oops.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. Yeah, rub it in. Yeah.
Hey everybody, look how good of a time I'm having.
Yeah. 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 Luckily on the podcast, they won't be able to see this.
We're gonna cut that out.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, it's just, I just think you got so much experience or anything like that. And you were talking about this guy yesterday. We were in the office and stuff like that. Just, it's a lot of people can do a lot more than they expect. Would you agree to that, Justin?
Absolutely. Like I'm saying, everybody's got a phone these days and can produce some really amazing content. You just need to put the thoughts to it and start executing your plan. And it's even, you know, I overshoot a lot of times, you know, and that's a good thing to do. You know, if you're like, oh, this is great, let's go get it. You know, it takes 5 seconds to shoot it and, you know, 10 minutes to talk about it. So if you've got the idea, just go ahead and shoot it. You know, go get that content, because once it's passed, it's passed. You know, if that airplane flew by and you wanted to get it, you can't reshoot that. If, you know, if that person walked by, or, you know, you leave that location, you got to go back there and it's going to take even longer. So just go ahead and shoot it. Make it happen, you know. And then the next thing I would suggest is, you know, just practice, you know, keep shooting. You know, you don't even have to publish the information. Just go back and watch the content that you've created. And then, you know, even put it in an editing software and review it yourself, get it internally reviewed, see what you like. You know, we do a ton of stuff for Jim Beam, where we just like showcase everything that they're doing. You know, it doesn't even have to be public, you know, just, you know, capture that content, remember that thing. And each time you're going to get better and better and better. You'll start learning about new frame rates, you know, just different techniques, you know, framing, you know, and just overall how I shouldn't be filming in this area over here because my face is seen, because I'm blown out in the background, because I've got a window in the background. You know, just practicing and, you know, I've got light right above me. I'm sweating. but I know I have a balcony right here. I could be sitting in the shade, but my face wouldn't be seen, and all you'd be able to see is the background, which would be awesome. But you can't. But again, you can't see myself. So just figuring out small details on how cameras and stuff work. Our eyes are so strong and powerful. They're high dynamic range. So whenever we're looking at all this stuff, we can see all depths of field. But when on our cameras, they don't see all spectrums and all lights and stuff. So figuring out what works best for your camera is really important. So again, it's practice.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, there's a lot of people that are going to be researching some of those things, trying to figure out what it means.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Definitely. What's the craziest thing you've shot so far? Craziest thing that just kind of makes you go, holy shit, I can't believe we just did that.
Man, it's all been really amazing. We started out doing weddings, and I thought those were the most beautiful things. And each process is just, each video, we're getting better and better. So I would have to say the Avita video where we're doing live action, and we rented 4 locations and have 20 actors and spent $4,000 on bringing out all those people and the projects just get bigger and better. And I would say each video that we do and when we practice and practice, it's just getting so much better every time. So it makes me fall in love with the business and the industry that I'm in personally. And really teaching people is really what I like to do with visual content. I'm personally dyslexic, so can't read and write very well. So the best way for me to be able to get my story across is either talking or visually show it. So I'd say, this last year has been just phenomenal, working with Jim Beam, Tile App, Uber Eats, Academy Sports and Outdoors. They've just been phenomenal to work with. And even the small businesses, they come up with the craziest ideas and you're like, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. But then we contemplate and figure out how we're gonna implement those things into the business. And then boom, it works. And we're like, okay, this is great. So
I see how he likes Jim Beam. Oh, we got to take that shot again. Hang on. Oh, wait, yeah. Academy. We got to cook another brisket because this one's just not
exactly. Right? Oh, I'm guilty of both of those.
Drop that. Go get us another one.
Well,
the question I have is: your wife told you can't film your own wedding yet?
I told her that I'm going to bring in my own team, and she said, "But Justin, you're going to be the bridezilla if things go wrong." So
well, I could just imagine. What I see is like being up there and be like, dude, I don't want that shot. Like, come around. Like, she's about to walk up. Like, come around. Like,
yeah,
like you're trying to coach everybody through what needs to be had.
Yeah, we were just at a wedding the other day, and I was cringing left and right, just about where they were doing. They covered up the whole kiss. Nobody could see it, and just. It was just so unorganized for the team. And I just wanted to be like, hey, can I sit down and just like consult you on what I think we should do differently? But there was a very big language barrier from Croatian to English. So I had to speak really slowly and stuff like that. But I think I gave him some good tips for the future. I said it a little bit nicer, but yeah, exactly right. You hit it right there.
I say you're feeling all stressed out, and they're like, dude, just enjoy the wedding. Like, I can't. There's an injustice happening right now.
Exactly.
I'm feeling for them, right?
Yeah, right. That's awesome. Well, man, I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for inviting me. I was really nervous to make this happen because it happened so quickly, and putting all the information together to provide the proper information for y'all was a lot of fun to put together.
Well, yeah, man, and honestly, I didn't know that you're up there proposing and stuff as well. So you already had a lot of other things on your mind besides, this going on. So I really appreciate you making time and taking the time to even put that stuff together. So
yeah,
we're happy she said yes. It'd be a whole different thing if she said no.
Yeah, no, I probably would have skipped the live feed today, and y'all would have had to have your own little chats.
I wouldn't blame you. Been awkward plane ride on the way home. So anyway, hey man, you enjoy the rest of your time out there. Thank you so much.
No problem, guys. Y'all hang loose and have fun. Keep learning. Practice.
Yeah,
and
I'll say we're gonna make sure everyone gets your information as well. But how do people get a hold of you? Where can they go find more information?
captivecreative.com. I also have a personal Instagram account, Justin_Bowers360. You can probably just type in Justin Bowers. I'm, top 1 or 2. So check that out. I've got lots of really great photos of my fiance and myself. So go check that out and give it a like.
Where are you guys to be registered at?
we actually plan to get married here in Croatia next summer. So, but Elijah, you're more than welcome to come to Croatia and be a part of the wedding. So.
Woo!
Yes!
We'll be there.
Yes!
So the wife already says yes, so we'll be there.
Great. Yes, I'm so excited. So cool, guys. Well, I really appreciate the invite to chat with y'all and share my information.
Absolutely, man. You take care, bud. Hey, enjoy yourself
Okay.
out there, okay?
Thank you so much. I'll talk to you then.
All right, sounds good. Dude.
You unmuted?
I just unmuted. Yeah.
You're good. All right. Take
So-
the audio there. Hey, yep, we're good.
Yep, we're good.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, that was cool. I've really liked okay, so he was talking about, practice, right? So I've seen this guy do wedding videos where, it's nice, there's nice shots, it's drone work, there's sunsets, all the way down to where what I would consider some more of the challenging stuff, which is like Mardi Gras, Galveston at night, lights flashing everywhere, people going crazy. It's really hard to get good video when it's night, lights going everywhere. It's not a controlled environment. People are going ape shit.
People are peeing everywhere in Mardi Gras.
Yeah, right. So, and I've seen this stuff that they come out with. They're literally going there that night, and the next day they're coming out with these badass shots, these little clips, these little promos, even if it's not the full video of what they shot or what they were going to produce, they still had a little promo that they give a little taste, you know what I mean? So, hey, I'm gonna give you a little taste. So if you want to see more, subscribe to my newsletter or do this, to have that next call to action to keep people moving forward, right? It's having that plan, that strategy, even if it's not to, the extent of what you wanted it to be, it's still, you're still getting something out, and it's still happening. So,
well, that's the biggest thing, is at least being there and taking the action to actually record it, to film it, to pull the camera out or whatever it is. Yes, if you're paid to do that, that's awesome.
right.
But so many of us travel to cool places and we come back with just images. Just take a short video.
Yeah.
Do something to share it out, because it's still something bad. People love it.
Yeah.
Versus nothing, right?
Right. No, absolutely. It's like he was saying, you can walk anywhere, you can take any shot. I don't know how many times I saw something funny and then I was like, oh, I should have recorded that. But by that time it was already over. Like, now I take in mind, I definitely appreciate the experiencing the moment. Okay. We talked about it earlier, people being on their phones, not being very social, getting, on social media when they're all together, the type of thing, they're not exactly experiencing the moment together, or
right,
enjoying each other's company. Right. So I'm definitely about that. And I've a lot of times when I look at something and I'm like, you know what, I really want to take a photo, I really want to take a video, but I'm actually enjoying myself. I'm enjoying the company that I'm in. So, maybe to pull the phone out, I would consider be rude, or I just don't want that. I want this to be for me. Like, this is going to be mine. But having a business, we don't always have that luxury, because we really need to have something happening, right? We either have time or we have money. And if I don't have a whole lot of money, then I need to be using my time appropriately to be catching those videos and grabbing those photos whenever I can. And maybe it's not necessarily me at my office or doing work like that. Maybe it's just me being the head of a company that's just talking about what I deal with on a regular basis, my thoughts, my words of advice to people, because I want to be, again, the influencer for my company, and people will build, that builds trust with my company. So people will most likely do business with that, right?
And it also leads to you being an expert in your industry over time.
Because you talk about it, you get it out there, you start just, you keep that dialogue, you keep those questions happening, and you're always striving for more knowledge and more information, and wanting to do what you're already doing even better.
It's the rule of 10,000 hours. You're not really an expert until you've done something consistently for 10,000 hours. You know, that's-
Straight, no
well,
breaks.
You know, I don't know if that's a live stream thing, but yeah, 10,000 minutes maybe. Who knows? But that's you know, you're good at honing your craft. We're all good at honing our craft. Experts we have on are all good at honing their craft.
Mhm.
But I think the biggest thing we've heard already so far, though, trades, you end up being a master of none, right, everybody?
Yeah. Well, and I think that, you know, you can take that right into the retail industry,
Yep.
right? So let's say you're trying to start in something retail. Maybe you're coming out with your first product. Maybe you're designing your first clothing line. You don't have a lot of revenue. So what you have to do is you have to decide, okay, I can make jeans really well, or I can make a shirt really well. So that's what I'm going to start with. You know, maybe I want to do a whole clothing line. I want to get in the shoes and everything, but I have to start somewhere. And so as long as I can just get that one product out first, start selling it, start making money off of it, and then I can see what the market is taking. Hey, do I change the design of the shirt, which would also change the design of the jeans originally? So then now you're introducing your next products, and on it goes from there. You know, you see a lot of businesses do that, especially when they come out with new products or when they're first launching, especially with software or anything else. So why would you take that same application into anything else? You know, it gets exhausting. We already don't have enough time to try to market ourselves anyway. And so to try to market like multiple areas, oh my God, like at that point in time, I mean, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. You're kind of like just throwing your money out the window.
Might as well just burn it, because you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off trying to do something for everything and not being effective at once.
Right.
Whereas if you, because you've heard the parental principle, 80% of our income is made from 20% of our efforts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we were to eliminate the 80% of distractions that we have, where we focus 100% of our time, we'd have a 400% the output.
Yeah.
Actually 500%, because it'd be 5 times it.
Dang.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We just got to quit drifting.
So next speaker, huh?
I guess I'm the next speaker.
Yeah.
Actually, it's our break. in
Oh.
minutes.
All right, so we will take a quick 15-minute break.
Yep.
15-minute break for everybody. I'll come back. That gives me a chance to finish my last slide.
There we go.
So
We like working on the fly.
that's right. So we will be back in a short 15 minutes. We'll keep it running here. We'll just have it muted.
Yep.
And stuff like that, and be right back in 15 minutes, everybody. Okay.
All right.